What's up, BookTube community? I'm back here with a mini haul BookTube video here, and if you could, please consider hitting the like button for this video. And if you are liking what you're seeing, or if you think that you might eventually like what you see, please consider hitting the subscribe button here. But coming up right now, I've got 3 new books that I've added to the collection courtesy of my Amazon account and my credit card, and I'm going to share those with you next. So these are 3 books that I was pretty excited about as I was getting my recommendations on Amazon. I kept seeing these 3 particular books pop up. 2 of them really popped up a number of times, and I thought, I need to take the hint there, and I am usually a pretty finicky reader and book purchaser unless it's a really good buy, like at a Goodwill, and you can pick them up for like 50 cents or $1 or whatever it was. You can get good deals there, and sometimes I'll say, well, I'll take a little bit more of a chance on some of those books. But once you start getting on Amazon with most of the books on there, especially if they're physical copies, paperbacks or hardbacks, then I'm usually a little pickier about how I'm going to invest some of my money, especially because I'm already a pretty picky reader. So that all being said, I did come up with 3 on this mini haul that I'm going to discuss. The first one I'm going to discuss is Reputation, and this is the one that kept popping up. And one of the reasons that I was excited about this one is it takes place at a university, and so that excites me because I work at a university, and so I'm kind of familiar with how that typically works and kind of the setting, and so I'm always intrigued by that because some of the stories that I write take place on college university campuses. And so I'm going to read a little bit of the back cover of this one. Aldrich University is a polished and prestigious institution, home to an elite student body and a top hospital. But a hack of the entire faculty, staff, student, and alumni email accounts reveals that lies lurking beneath the school's perfect veneer, and rumors and scandals explode. The backlash to new revelations turns lethal when a handsome doctor winds up dead. In a community where everyone has something to hide, the women of the town must figure out who the killer among them is before someone else is murdered. And so it sounds really interesting, and it's told from multiple points of view, and I'm just really excited about it again because I think, you get a university campus and you get a hack, and that's something that a lot of people are concerned about nowadays. And so I thought, and then you get the murder plot, of course, as well. And so those are just some items that, to me, just made this book, Reputation, quite intriguing there, and really cool cover art right there. I really like what they did there with the face being hidden. Everybody's got something to hide is the text that reads right there. So sounds like a really interesting book, and looking forward to checking this one out. Next up on the haul is a book that a lot of people are talking about. This is a book that, the profilers that run Facebook have, and people who are selling ads have been doing a pretty good job of tracking me, and they keep nailing me with it. And I was already thinking about it and considering it anyway. It was just a matter of when I was going to purchase it, and that would be The Holdout by Graham Moore. And so this is a book that a lot of people on not only YouTube, but also on Instagram as well, Bookstagram, people have been all over this one, talking about this one a lot. And of course, as I said, it's been following me around on Facebook, and I've been reading the comments section on Facebook as well as on Instagram, and it just sounded really, really good. So I'm just going to quickly read a little bit about this one right here by checking out the inside cover. It's the most sensational case of the decade. 15-year-old Jessica Silver, heiress to a billion-dollar real estate fortune, vanishes on her way home from school, and her teacher, Bobby Knock, is the prime suspect. The subsequent trial taps straight into America's most pressing preoccupations: race, class, sex, law enforcement, and the lurid sins of the rich and famous. It's an open and shut case for the prosecution, and a quick conviction seems all but guaranteed, until Maya Seal, a young woman on the jury, convinced of Knox's innocence, persuades the rest of the jurors to return the verdict of not guilty, a controversial decision that will change all their lives forever. Flash forward 10 years. A true crime docuseries reassembles the jury with particular focus on Maya, now a defense attorney herself. When one of the jurors is found dead in Maya's hotel room, all evidence points to her as the killer. Now, she must prove her own innocence by getting to the bottom of a case that is far from closed. As the present-day murder investigation weaves together with the story of what really happened during their deliberations, told by each of the jurors in turn, the secrets they have all been keeping threaten to come out, with drastic consequences for all involved. So it just sounds really good. You know, you have the historical event that takes place, and then you flash forward to the present times, and the two incidents are tied together. And so I'm really curious to see how they're going to tie the two incidents together and how the mystery is going to play out. But it just sounded just so good, and I kept seeing it and seeing it and seeing it, and I just said, you know what, I just got to go ahead and take the plunge on this one. So one juror changed the verdict. What if she was wrong? So The Holdout by Graham Moore, one that I'm really looking forward to. And last on this haul is A Danger to Herself and Others by Alyssa Scheinmel. This one really sounds interesting to me. It takes place in an institution. So I'm going to read a little bit about this one. It says, 4 walls, 1 window, no way to escape. Hannah knows there's been a mistake. She doesn't need to be institutionalized. What happened to her roommate at the summer program was an accident. As soon as the doctors and judge figure out that she isn't a danger to herself or others, she can go home to start her senior year. Those college applications aren't going to write themselves. Until then, she's determined to win over the staff and earn some privileges so she doesn't lose her mind to boredom. Then Lucy arrives. Lucy has her own baggage, and she's the perfect project to keep Hannah's focus off all she is missing at home. But Lucy may be the one person who can get Hannah to confront the secrets she's avoiding and the dangerous games that landed her in confinement in the first place. So this is, you got kind of, it seems like kind of the closed setting trope that you see a lot of times in mysteries. And so it just sounded really interesting to me. The cover is really good. You got the ivy on the wall, A Danger to Herself and Others. It wasn't my fault is kind of the little subtext right there. And then you look at the back cover. It wasn't my fault, accidents happen. And then you got some reviews from some authors on the back. But it just sounded really interesting. When you have the confined space trope, and you have being in a psychiatric hospital. I think that's kind of intriguing to a lot of people in many cases. And this just sounds good. The characters sound like they're going to be very interesting. And so I'm really excited about that and seeing how this one's going to play out. Because Hannah sounds like an interesting character, and then when you see Lucy coming in, it almost makes you start to think a little bit about the book and the movie Girl Interrupted, and maybe if it's going to be something along those lines. And for those of you who read Girl Interrupted, which I did, and for those of you who saw the movie Girl Interrupted, which I did as well, this starts to make you think that maybe this one could be going in that direction. So I'm excited because Girl Interrupted was very, very good to read and to watch as well. It was one of those cases where the movie was very, very good. Was it as good as the book? Well, I mean, I'd probably have to read the book again and watch the movie again because it's been a long time since I did both. But I remember that the movie was very good. I enjoyed the movie, and I did enjoy the book as well. So anyway, A Danger to Herself and Others, Alyssa Scheinmel. This is one that I'm definitely looking forward to reading. So that's going to do it for this mini book haul. If you could, please hit the like button for this video. And if you would, also consider hitting the subscribe button for this channel to help support this channel. Every subscription counts, every like counts, and is much appreciated. And I look forward to you continuing with me on this BookTube journey as we continue to grow and engage to become an integral part of the BookTube community and to make hopefully a few friends along the way.